Alright, that should be going live. Alright, welcome back to another stream. We do have a tornado warning ongoing in Texas. This did produce a tornado earlier, just a few moments ago. As you can kind of see, just like about westish of Highway 163, you kind of see where that velocity is kind of tightened up there, and it produced in that area. For good thing that I will say is that this is mainly in a rural area compared to it being a more populated area. Although once it starts getting more into these areas with this tornado warning storm, if they do end up continuing, this tornado warning is going to be in a little bit more populated area. So if you're in places such as near Waller Valley, Broome, I would make sure to stay weather aware just in case you do end up getting into a new tornado warning, which at this time does not seem like they are going to extend it, but I would just be weather aware just in case they do end up doing so. We also do have quite the hail risk today, I will say. Which actually, let me pull out the outlook. That's not the right thing. So here's the enhanced risk for today in Texas. So this large portion here. And here's the tornado risk for today, which goes from all the way from here in Texas all the way up, even into Arkansas, actually. And then here's the wind. Most of that wind risk is in Texas. And then mainly with that hail risk, too, is mainly in also Texas as well. I would not be surprised if we start seeing some more severe storms maybe later tonight, potentially, in Oklahoma and also northern Texas. It is about 4:26 p.m. right now in the afternoon. So we still got a couple hours before we got any potential activity upstream. So they also did, instead of the typical tornado watch of the issue, because the Mesoskele discussion was calling for they had a probability of 100 to 130 mile per hour tornadoes possible today. So I'm kind of surprised they went with a severe thunderstorm watch, but maybe there's probably something that I'm not seeing potentially than what they're saying. But my guess is just due to the fact that the main threat that they're probably concerned for today is probably that hail threat that we just took a look at. Also, I'm looking at the SPC Mesoscale analysis, and there's quite a bit of instability in this area, so I actually am kind of curious. The wind shear is not super, it's not super amazing, but it is there. Well, actually, bulk shear, surface 6 kilometers, it's kind of up there as well. Bulk shear surface 1 kilometer, which 1 kilometer is where you gotta look for your bulk shear for kind of just anything for tornadic activity, I guess. I do need to get some water. We do have a new severe thunderstorm warning. I think I have a couple new ones. Oh no, this one's about to expire in the next 2 minutes. Actually, this one is a new issued one, which instead of the 20 pound tag with golf ball size hail, even up to 7 mile per hour winds is down to quarter size hail and also 6 mile per hour winds. It looks like, so it's not as strong or as destructive of a severe storm as it was. I've been kind of focusing on this one a little bit back here, although we are kind of far from radar on that. Because it did look like it was having a bit of a hook on that, but this didn't seem like it was producing anything potentially with how long it's been going on for compared to this one, which does actually have a reserve tag now on it. Oh, let me check because I don't know if that's just a late or if there is actually something that's on the ground here. Let's check. Weather spotter confirmed tornado, I think, too. Yeah, weather spotter confirmed. With damage to tornado and 2-inch size hail. So we do have a tornado that's potentially on the ground here. Trying to see, because you can definitely see where that hail core is right in there. If there is a tornado, it's probably gonna be down there somewhere, potentially, probably. Because you're typically not gonna find it in here. You're gonna find it where it's more like down that way, where you have like almost not. It's not really a hook compared to what we had earlier. Actually, let me go back a little bit. You can see where that hook it was earlier with that previous tornado, and then it kind of split in half, and we have a second one here, which looks like it is kind of struggling with the merger there potentially, although it did just go observe. So where was this spotted at, anyways? Tornadic thunderstorm will remain over mainly rural areas of southeastern Sterling County. Confirmed tornado was located 12 miles southwest of US 87 near the Tom Green County line, or 12 miles southwest of Broome. Where is... Oh, there. It's the Broome's right there. So if this is until you go in northeast and it's still on the ground, if you're in Broome, be prepared to take shelter in the next probably couple minutes or so. Bro. So I wonder... So I know there's Stormrunner Media and also Connor. I don't know who can see this though. Let me load up Stormrunner Media's stream real quick on YouTube here. See what he can see. Data is having it's having a time down that way with data. But it definitely does seem to be quite a bit of contamination right in there. There's something back here though that seems like it's trying to do something now as well. You can see a little bit of convection starting to reach down. Might be something to keep an eye on just in case. Especially since there is a tornado threat still. That there is a tornado threat today. I mean, it's a 5%, but even a 5% can still have a quite significant tornadoes. Because I remember, I think it was a couple days ago at this point. I think it was on Friday, not Friday, Saturday, and Iowa had a tornado emergency on it. It was insane. Lime-sized hail that this is producing, so it's quite sizable hail, and also quite a lot. Once again, quite a lot of contamination on radar right now. Although that is in the clear air area, so that would kind of make sense in a way, where you have side lobe contamination. New mid-scale discussion, by the way. Let me just pull that up. Actually, if I can, pull up the thing, maybe. If it's a big if. All right, let's see if mother.
Yeah, I know, right? This area is like
New severe thunderstorm warning just popped up as well for half southwest hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds. Hey dude, on the first to first. What is that sentence? Still got 10 minutes on this tornado warning. And we have a special weather statement up here for 40-mile-per-hour winds and half-inch hail. Remember, talking through it. Hey, I made well, yeah, obviously. Whatever sentence that was that whatever was said through Alexa, that would I don't know if Alexa completely botched that sentence. I forgot that I had Stormer Media's stream up because I was just hearing rain. I'm like, where am I hearing rain? Another severe thunderstorm warning. I'm kind of curious because I know severe threat goes all the way up, which, by the way, that's not it. That's it. It literally goes all the way up to New York with that slight risk. I think this is like one of the longest severe risk. I think, if I remember correctly. So let's see what this is warned for real quick. Core size hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds, and I think these are probably the same. Yeah, this one's actually up to ping pong size. But that's quite the hail core in there. That is quite the hail core on that little area there. Also, I just realized looking. That's just a lot of instability, man. And then here's that miss. Oh wow. I just saw a post on Twitter from Tornado Pagey. Yeah, that is quite the tornado from earlier near 1605. So I think is that 4:05 p.m. I need to get used to looking at universal time. I'm not used to looking at that yet. We got a new severe thunderstorm warning that just got issued for lime-sized hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds. So we no longer have a tornado pause tag on us. Although I think we still could have a chance where this could potentially recycle, considering this is the area for that best chance. Do we actually have the mesoscale discussion on here? I think we should. That's not it. That's it. Yeah, wait, no. It's just for the tornado. Wait. Oh, wait, no, that is. We have a mesoscale discussion for tornado watch, actually, in this area, it looks like. It'd be nice if I could actually pull it up. Tornado watch 147. Severe weather threat for tornado watch 147 continues. So wait, there's a tornado watch on top of this? So I'm not seeing Just if it was a tornado watch, and I'd be seeing more of a like a red overlay instead of this yellow overlay with a sphere tornado watch. Let me just check real quick. It doesn't look like they actually issued a tornado watch, unless the severe Starstorm watch is supposed to be the tornado watch. I don't know. Let me check. No, yeah, it's the severe Starstorm watch, which is gonna be going until 10. So I'm not sure what's going on with that meta-scale discussion there on Radar Omega. I don't know what's going on with that. Checking anything back here, especially this one right here with that little area. So I just got delivered a sandwich. You did it. Alright, so let me check. This should be expiring on a few moments here. 3 minutes on that tornado warning. So, I mean, it's more than likely to expire out, but unless they're unless they're gonna cancel out that tornado warning, I have no idea. So, definitely watching this area, though, for anything going on here. I need to actually, let me change my my marker to white here, because that'll be a little bit better. Yeah, there we go. Definitely gonna be watching for anything in that area right here. That is the weirdest arrow I could possibly draw on in my entire life right now for what is going on with trying to draw it into this specific area. Definitely seems like it's trying to do something, though, for sure. Still got 2 minutes on that before it expires out. This is gonna be going for a while too. I just realized. Hour or 2 minutes. Oh, hiccups. So how is everybody in chat doing, by the way? I'm curious. Cause I know it's been a kind of a long week, and I know tomorrow's Easter as well. So I don't know how many of you in chat are celebrating, if I can speak English. How many of you in chat are celebrating that tomorrow? I'm kind of curious. And that tornado warning is going to expire. So they are letting that tornado warning expire out, it looks like, rather than canceling it out. So if you're, well, I guess this kind of earlier is, so there's not really a whole lot of people in here. There's a ranch airport in there, it looks like, though. Whoa, what is going on there? But I am at my main place for doing this stream today. So it's kind of, everything's gonna be kind of more convenient for trying to look at stuff compared to I mean, well, when I'm in my other location for streaming, and it takes like 9 years to load a frame, which is always annoying. But and we no longer have a tornado warning, so we're now down to just severe thunderstorm warnings ongoing. This is actually now a destructive storm, actually producing up to baseball-sized hail. So this is producing some. I mean, seriously, it's producing some sizable hail. I'm kind of curious if let me look at Storm Runner's stream. I know, well, of course Connor's there too, but I think Storm Runner's gonna be the closest, at least closest to the hail core, which I think is gonna be right in there. I think. That's gonna be covering Water Valley, Broome, and Edith in Texas. Is there anybody? What? Let me see. Near Pekin Mott as well. Broome, and I think I said Edith. And that's gonna be, once again, that's gonna be in Texas. All right, we have a new severe thunderstorm warning that just got issued for $half size hail and 6 mile per hour winds. We still have this one, of course. This one's obviously gonna be, I think, probably warned for up to baseball size hail for a while at this rate. For how long they warn it for, and also producing damage, literally damaging hail. This could really not only dent your car, also break the windshields and just glass in your car too, which is also another thing. This is gonna be going towards Robert Lee, which I think seems to be more of a populated area there, and also Bronte as well. So we got a couple of areas that are pretty populated here. We got a couple of smaller towns, of course, but got a couple of areas that seem to be a little bit more populated than what we've been kind of seeing downstream here. So let's kind of see how that kind of goes with this storm, see if it does end up recycling or not. Which right now it does not seem to be the case, but definitely seems, once again, it definitely seems like it is trying to do something, however. Oh, I just realized I need to start eating my sandwich real quick. Hold on. All right, so I could probably talk. Actually, I want to talk about my sandwich actually here. So I got it's it's a pastrami sandwich basically. It's got like I don't know, it's like tomatoes, onions, and stuff like that on the sandwich. So it's got a lot of veggies along with Swiss cheese. So it's got a lot of good stuff. I got an itch. So far, yeah, this today has been quite the hail risk day for sure. I am kind of curious, what does the lapse rates look like over here? I mean, I can't speak. Low level, I mean, it's not great over here compared to what we're looking at right now. I am kind of curious, what does visible satellite look like? Yeah, I've explained a lot. No, hold on. We have a new tornado warning. That's got to be for, it's radar indicated, but it has up to line-sized hail. You could actually see the hook right in there. But this is going to be for Water Valley in Texas. I think this also includes parts of just southeast of Edith, Texas. This also includes Pekin Mott as well. So if you're in any of those areas, go to low parts building your home, most tier power building your home, as you're underneath a tornado warning. And let me take a look at the velocities. But yeah, once again, that's definitely a hook on that for sure. So I'm looking at Stormer Media's stream right now, see if we got anything on the ground. Which right now, I mean, it's radar indicated, so I'm not expecting anything at least right at the second to be on the ground. But anything could happen at any moment at this point. With what we're looking at here. With how much of a hook this has on reflectivity. Not seeing quite much. I mean, we could be seeing a little bit of strong velocities on the south side there, but other than that, not much at the moment. Just stay weather aware in case we do end up having a tornado that ends up being on the ground, because this definitely could produce in the next few minutes or so. I just realized I accidentally had myself muted. But pretty much every known storm chaser is on this particular tornado warned storm right now. Jordan Hall is on this, Brian Kopic is on this, Connor Croft and Stormer Media, Terrell Page is on this. Once again, nothing on the ground at the moment. Still continue to stay weather aware. Just in case anything does end up changing, which it could change pretty fast. Because it really does not take much for a tornado to become like to go from like small to wide. Not that that's gonna happen in this situation, but definitely gonna be something to watch for at least when it comes to a tornado threat. And there does seem to be a couple of hills in this area, and also trees. They're also almost kind of I think right under if depending how far behind we are right now. I think they're almost pretty much right underneath the area that is rotating at this point. Although velocity still is like a mess, but that's probably just due to side lobe contamination compared to actual like any actual velocities on in there. You can see parts in like these areas here where it's all like contaminated. Because this is like, let me just switch. So yeah, that's just clear air in that area. Alright, I got a new update on reflectivity. So yeah, they're pretty much almost right on us, underneath this. Maybe, I know there's a way to look at, where's NRA on here? It's called something different on Radar Omega. There's a chance it is. Because NRA is kind of like it's a good way to get like a general idea where there's rotation, but it does not seem to be the case that that for some reason not GR2 Radar Omega does not have it. Also looking at the backstorm on reflectivity, I am noticing something. Got another area here that it seems to be trying to rotate as well, so we may get that one as well eventually. That one actually may get tornado warned soon here as well, depending on how that progresses. Let me look at GR2. Where is NROT? Yeah, there's looking at reflectivity on NROT here, or not NROT, but both GR2 and also Radar Omega definitely seems to be more of a like a hook right in there-ish, right in there compared to all the way down here. But still watching that backside over here for that area of rotation. I do wonder if we got potentially start seeing this do the same thing down the line, because it seems like we have almost kind of like a parade line of supercells right now. Let me check the velocities on some of these back here, just in case. Which I know down here is probably not going to be anything great in coverage with actually pretty much all these radars, actually. Because this is kind of like an area where we have almost like it's almost kind of like a radar hole, but not quite a radar hole, but just, well, I guess it is technically a little bit of a radar hole in that little area there, but it's kind of area where it's kind of far from seeing anything from radar in that area sometimes. Also, although I haven't seen too much in that area. So I got 31 minutes on his tornado warning. Surprisingly, I say this one surprisingly has a tornado pause tag on it, and not this one. Although looking at current velocities on this one, I mean the velocities are there, but not super tight on that area. Once again, there's something to watch for. I am noticing a couple of, I think, are those prefrontals starting to pop up now too? I think we're potentially prefrontals starting to pop up if those are indeed prefrontals. Definitely seems to be prefrontals. It's kind of things when you're looking at radar that you kind of have to kind of notice, monitor. So that's one thing when it comes to doing severe weather broadcasts. Trying to see if we got anything. Adam Lucio is on this. Tim Marshall. Wait, is that Tim Marshall, the one that did that does tornado survey damage? Seems like it is. Yeah, there's a lot of people that was on this tornado warning. Tornado warning from the tornado was on the ground earlier near Sterling. Definitely seems to be falling apart right now in terms of a tornado threat. So I do wonder if it's going kind of away potentially from the boundary. Although it kind of seems like it's still going towards the boundary at the same time too. Where is that boundary? Hold on, let me look at that mesoscale discussion real quick again. Where is it? So this is Sterling. The Bear Clinic zone is at least like somewhere, if I can actually draw, somewhere in here. Or, hold on, this is, I think the Bear Clinic zone, if I remember correctly, is like somewhere near there. Somewhere in there is where that Bear Clinic boundary is at. So this is kind of like a kind of eyeballing it there. Because it seems like it's kind of nearby the boundary. We'll watch what it does. Although it does seem like it is falling apart, and it does not seem to be super imminent of a threat at the moment. Now looking at echo tops, and this is from radar, it's almost like 50,000 feet in the air with these cloud tops. And I'm looking at this one over here, which is the estimate from this radar, about 50,000 feet as well. And it's about the same on this radar too, so looks like there is consistency with that being quite the supercell on this one too. Oh, still has a tornado pause tag on it. Which actually, do I have? Oh right, yeah, I don't have it set up on my PC here, because I'm like, maybe I'll probably, because I was like, I might as well pull up GR2 House's Volume Explorer and whatnot, but I do not have that set up on my PC here on my OBS. So I mean, actually, I probably could set that up now. Actually, I just gotta do a couple things here to actually do that. Just give me a couple seconds here. Like just a few. Volume X. Alright, there is Volume Explorer. Alright, there we go. So here's Volume Explorer right there. Gotta make sure it's not taking up the whole screen, because and then this new sphere storm I just got issued, by the way, that's gonna be for core size hail and 6 mile per hour wind. So that's like that. This one is a wind and hail threat out of that there. At least for the main concerns for that particular supercell. And then here's the cross section. All right. Which a cross section is useful for if we do have a tornado that's on the ground, is lofting debris into the atmosphere. So this is the CC on a cross section. So if there was, let's say, a violent tornado on the ground, then we'd be able to see debris going into the atmosphere on a cross section to be able to go see like all the way up somewhere in this area. Sometimes like 20 to 40,000 feet in the air. Sometimes. I wonder what satellite it looks like. Because sometimes if there's too much cloud cover, which, I mean, that could kind of basically kind of hold a cap in place. Which right now these supercells do not seem to be having the case of that being a issue right now, though, for the most part. Which the lapse rates and whatnot are probably helping quite a bit. The instability and lapse rates are helping, at least when it comes to that hail threat and also wind threat. That trail threat right now, I mean, we could still see maybe a couple brief tornadoes still. Just when we get to the point of later tonight, I think we'll probably have a even bigger concern potentially if that little jet starts to kick in. Also, with that tornado pops tag I was looking at earlier, I think we maybe potentially, depending on, I know this radar kind of shows a little bit different, but definitely maybe actually seems to be potentially having a hook in there. Definitely quite the hail core on that, producing that $half size hail. I want to say there's probably even something when it comes to even larger than that when it comes to hail in that little area. So I mean, we're seeing a couple of these that are 2 inches in diameter and up. A couple baseball sized hail in there too. So got 22 minutes on that tornado warning. Does not, once again, it seems like it actually kind of fell apart for the most part on that. So I do wonder if it's not interacting as much with that boundary as it was earlier. I could be wrong though. One thing that I want to kind of drag attention to. This area right here with severe weather right now. You also can see I saw. Oh wait, that's from way earlier. What the tornado warning I'm going right now for another 20 minutes. Trying to see if we get any updates at all. Also, update on that Iowa tornado. It was almost a 2 mile wide tornado. I think it was measured at around, I think almost like 1.7 miles wide, I think I saw from earlier. And it was rated EF1, but that was mainly due to the fact, I mean, it was in mainly a rural area, so fortunately it did not hit a whole lot of areas, but there were still buildings that were damaged along the path. I'm just literally sitting on my foot right now. I feel like I'm making my foot like fall asleep. Uh oh, that was probably loud when I did that. Hopefully, I don't know if anybody here is using headphones, but I hope your ears are okay after I just did that. Trying to check if we have anything. Trying to see if we have any hail at all. Actually, there's a post from National Service Memphis, but that is for tomorrow. Scattered severe storms Sunday night for Memphis tomorrow, looks like, potentially. I gotta sneeze real quick. Alright, there we go. It is, it's spring when you start sneezing. Oh yeah, I forgot. There was, I think it was Friday, actually. Which was literally yesterday. And Wisconsin was having baseball-sized hail up all the way, kind of pinpoint it. I think it was near the Janesville area. It was around in this area where we had that baseball-sized hail right in there. There are some more severe storm warnings going on over here in Ohio for mainly wind and hail threat, but not super large hail. But I mean, still sizable hail, even for it being quarter-size hail. But does not seem to be a super high threat for, I mean, tornado threat. Honestly, I mean, they didn't really outline a tornado threat for up here, mainly for these areas here. So we have quite a lot of overlapping severe tornado warnings right now. Looks like a bunch of like cheese stacked on top of each other, like really yellow cheese. They still are continuing this tornado warning. It looks like still radar indicated. This is now in an area which is, well, we got this severe storm here producing up to baseball size hail. This one's warned for ping pong in that area. Looks like definitely once again still quite the hail core there. Would be interesting to see if we have any reports come out of Robert Lee, because this is more of a populated area. Sometimes with more populated areas, you get your hail reports from there. So we'll see what happens if we get any reports from there. Definitely, if interested in see if we have any hail reports later from here with this hail core over here. Alright, just gotta move my chair up. Okay, they canceled out. I think they canceled out a couple of severe draft warnings. Unless they expired out themselves. I can't tell. Sometimes I can't tell if they expire out themselves sometimes. Because, like, you have so many different alerts on the screen. It's like, alright, which one just expired out? Which one did what and what did not do what? Who, what, where, how, when, why. Another Sphere Darts Morning. I think that's probably gonna be actually back here. Actually, asking for ping pong size hail. Okay, we do have a radar that's at least closest to this. Trying to see if we have anything. Do not have anything that's rotating on these right now, as of now that I can notice. Still gotta be watching those because I mean, even though the tornado threat is low for today, but I still rather keep an eye on that threat because sometimes, once again, even if you have 2%, 5%, you can still see quite a few tornadoes in one day. And looks like they did just downgrade the severe dust warning, so now that's also for ping pong size hail. So it's interesting they updated the tornado warning for that before they updated this one. But my guess is there were still spots that were kind of producing baseball size hail, is my guess. Still quite sizable hail though. However, still can cause damage. So if you have a car, I do not recommend parking under bridges, by the way, or blocking roads to shelter from hail. That is not a good idea. Just park somewhere that has like a roof, like I want to say like a parking garage or something like that. Although even that probably cause issues for parking garages, maybe too. Either way, just I would say I don't know because personally I don't know if I've ever seen I've seen hail before, but I don't know if I've seen ping pong size hail before or even baseball size hail. I was trying to see if I have my laptop up here so I can kind of watch and see because I have a couple of screens here that I can look at Storm Chasers here, which I'm using my laptop right now for Storm Chaser feed, so I can see what's going on their side. And it looks like Connor Croft and also Storm Runner Media are making their way down towards San Angelo. My guess is their next targets are gonna be these supercells over. Make sure I don't drop my laptop. Think they're probably gonna target these next, probably. This one definitely seems to be heading more away from that boundary because that is what initially kind of ramped up this supercell with being along the Bear Clinic boundary. Where is Brandon? Oh, here's Brandon Kopic. All right, let's see what he's seeing. So, yeah, they're pretty much, I think pretty much almost, because what I'm seeing right now with a lot of Storm Chaser feeds is they're pretty much all in or near San Angelo right now, going west. South to south and then west. So I don't know how good the road network is here. I know there's a couple of roads. I don't specifically know because Brandon Kopic is not on Radar Omega anymore. I do wonder if he's on Weatherwise because I know he uses Weatherwise now, even for the maps now. Let me see. Let me see. Man, I just gotta say, Weatherwise is super smooth compared to Radar Omega right now. Like, whenever I'm not streaming, Radar Omega just lags, but Weatherwise seems to be super smooth for the most part. Which would be interesting to see, because I'm still waiting to see if they're gonna add, because how you can do on Radar Omega and also, but almost basically any radar app that has like what Radar Omega and Radar Scope does, where you can kind of tab back and forth between scans. That's something I'm still waiting for them to add. And once they do add that, I may switch over to that. Because otherwise, I mean, they've been basically almost weekly updates. Which, by the way, if anybody wants the kind of link to that, let me just do that real quick. If I can actually, hold on. Give me one quick second. So here is, just gotta send in a chat. That is Weatherwise. It is actually a pretty decent radar app. You can customize it with the color tables and whatnot. I am not sponsored by them, but I mean, when I see something that, I mean, if I see a radar app or weather app that I kind of like, that I'm like, yeah, I mean, well, I'll kind of talk about it every once in a while. They did just issue a tornado watch. I just saw it pop up like 2 seconds ago, and it disappeared on Radar Omega. That's going to be going to the same amount of time that the Severe Thunderstorm Watch is going to, which is 10 p.m. Central. See how much time we have left on this. We have 8 minutes on that tornado warning. There we go. There's that tornado watch I was talking about a little bit ago. So this is probably one of the smallest tornado watches I've seen in forever or ever, to be honest. Like it is a small area, but this is kind of where that bear clinic boundary that I was talking about earlier is at, basically. Yeah, there we go. So there's the tornado watch number 148. Valid from 5:20 p.m. until 10 Central. We do actually have a new mesoscale discussion, actually. That's going to be... Now, let me press this. So, not really expecting too much of a threat with areas of such as West Virginia, Ohio, and even in Pennsylvania. Which, I forgot how many days ago, off the top of my head, where West Virginia had that one day where they had hail and also, I think, a couple of tornado warnings that day. Can't remember. Let me try and search what day that was. Because I don't remember what day that was off the top of my head. See. That was 4 days ago, which was let's see what day that was. 5 days ago, 4 or 5 days ago. That was April 14th. I think that was either Monday or Tuesday. I'm not kidding you when I say this. I was looking at the Nashville radar Omega on my phone. I think it was, for me, I'm not kidding you, the Nashville radar didn't update for the past 5 days? What? On Radar Omega, it was for National Service or yeah, Radar Omega. Literally only Radar Omega having that issue. Why am I not surprised of that being a Radar Omega thing? I swear, it's always Radar Omega that has some weird issue when it comes to updating radar. I don't think I've ever seen any other radar that's had that like radar app that I've seen or used that's had that issue before. Like even GR2 analysis, which I mean, it doesn't run off the same kind of software that Radar Omega and everything else does, but even not even GR2 does well. Yeah, not I can't speak. Like even GR2 analysis does not do that, and it's weird things happening with Radar Omega, man. I don't know what to tell you. I think that's the longest time it took Radar Omega to actually update for me before the longest day was, I don't know, 3 days. So basically, what you're telling me is Radar Omega your Radar Omega just had a record for basically not updating. That's what you're telling me right now. Also, just a quick update. It does seem like we are having a bit of another hook here. That's gonna be going right near Robert Lee. So I would say I'll pull up some cameras here, but I doubt there's any cameras in Robert Lee, Texas. But we'll see what happens. I mean, there's weather bug, actually, but the question is, are they gonna be live cameras or are they gonna be static? Because if they're static, it's not static cameras, then we're not gonna be able to see anything, to be honest. No webcams are available for the area around this location. Only it looks like on a weather bug. Okay. Although, why is it? I pulled up cameras for New Mexico. I just realized the weather bug pull up New Mexico DOT for some reason is in charge of those cameras. That is weird. But we may get an extension on this tornado warning in a second, actually. Even though velocities, I mean, they don't obviously look super impressive, but I think this is becoming a little bit more organized again here. Still watching for anything down here as well. Which there was a couple of these I know were trying to do something earlier, but especially this one. Hold on. I don't know how far back I can go here. That was one of them I was doing something earlier. I think it was this one here, which looks like it kind of fell apart with that merger. Definitely have to be watching this potentially, though, just to the northeast of Big Lake. Would not be, once again, I would not be surprised if this guy gets an extension on that tornado warning. I really would not at this point. Yeah, it looks like Robert Lee, Texas does not have any cameras. So, other than DOT cameras, but they're kind of static. So, although, hold on. Because it shows New Mexico roads. Drive, Texas. Now let's see. More resources, traffic cameras. Yeah, even on Drive, Texas, yeah. Basically, for some reason, Weatherbug only has the cameras, but a lot of these cameras seem like they have not been updated in, like, forever. Because there's one camera, actually, few cameras. Wait, what did this take me to? Hold on. Because it took me to a, like, completely different town. Yeah, there's literally no cameras in Robert Lee. So, I don't know if there's any storm chasers in Robert Lee at all. Still have a little bit of hook on here. Definitely seem to be more organized a scan ago, at least. I mean, look at that. Absolutely just quite the hook. And this seems to be more discreet of a cell too. That's the thing. And typically, sometimes with discrete cells, you'll get tornadoes. I know one time for one of my friends, his Radar Omega didn't update for 3 months. It was 2 days after Helene hit. He was checking how his father was doing in Southern Florida. No joke. 3 months, man. 3 whole months. Says that is not a good thing. If it's taking that long to update a radar. I swear, Radar Omega really needs to get an update. And they still legitimately have not given it an update at all, which sucks because this is I mean it's a good radar app. It really just needs some updates, man. A lot of bug fix updates specifically, and maybe some new features on the side. Actually, I don't know what specifically they would add off the top of my head, but I feel like I know there's already a boatload of features in the first place that they can look at anyways, but and we no longer have at the moment a tornado warning now. So we no longer have, once again, we do no longer have a tornado warning. Still continue to be weather aware just in case you're underneath tornado warning if you're in any areas that are currently severe thunderstorm warned. Specifically a lot of these areas right now, right here that we're watching for any tornado activity. Couple of these already. This one did produce earlier with that supercell, which was way back. Let me see if I can go how far back. Okay, I'm at 30 frames. Let me go to 50 frames. Let me check that a little bit farther. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, there we go. So that's kind of where it kind of produced earlier, west of Highway 163, and then it kind of split. And it's been going for actually quite a while at this point. You can kind of see it hooked there with tornado warned. I think that was what we were looking at earlier too. And it was hooking there again too. But now it's not as much of a hook as it was earlier. That is a skinny severe thunderstorm warning. Like, that is skinny. Ask for core size hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds for that severe thunderstorm warned area. Man, like, I know I've seen some skinny warning areas before. Like, I've seen some skinny tornado warned areas and even severe thunderstorm warned areas. I think even special weather statements too. But some areas are quite skinny for alerts. I think there was a tornado warning last year in New Mexico. I think it was somewhere near the radar site here. I can't remember what town it was. Unless I can just, like, somehow find it out of nowhere. But I know it was in this area somewhere, I think. Unless it was over here more. But it was like it was so tiny of a tornado warning. I'm like, that is a tiny tornado warning. It was like maybe the size of this area right there. To this day, he uses WeatherWise for his phone and his PC. And also where his PC uses GR2. I swear if a word is messed up on this, it's Alexa. And it seems like everything kind of went smoothly on that sentence. I just think I just accidentally almost bit down my tongue. Yeah, GR2 is like old reliable, I guess you can call it. Because you can honestly you can trust it for a lot of things. I also did I also downloaded, I don't know if I talked about this during another stream or not, but with a couple other streams, I was using GR2, like regular GR2, not even like the V3 version of it. So it didn't show like the rest of the other warnings that you would typically see with the V3 GR2 analysis, like well, I mean, obviously on the other tier 2, you would have your tornado emergency reported and tornado warning, but with V3, you have the PDS and then also the 2 other severe thunderstorm warnings upgrade. Like, well, I guess upgrade, like, but that they upgraded to, depending on their wind or hail. So, like, get considerable or destructive. And then also, a couple other things I did not have on there as well. There's also the snow squall on there as well, which I mean we won't see anytime soon, as we're in spring now. I mean we could definitely still see snow in April, which has already happened earlier this month, I think, in western Texas here. Like, I think all over here I got that snow, if I remember correctly. Dude, with the skinny severe thunderstorm warnings and tornado warnings, that's honestly my county in a nutshell right there. Well, with the small warnings, and they just issued a new severe thunderstorm warning on top of that one. So this is for core size hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds. So I mean, it's still producing hail, but not as big of a hail size as it was earlier. Well, even with this one here, it was warned for up to core size hail. So. 9 minutes on that one there. No joke, for one severe thunderstorm warning, it just made the town map of my hometown, Centerville. Man, the National Service is like, alright, this town in particular, it needs to be warned. Which I guess I mean technically kind of is how warnings work. Hey, I mean, it all depends on where the storms are at, I guess, when it comes to where like particular, well, obviously severe-borne storms. They're for particular areas that are within the path, current path at least, where that box is at. Respect the polygons. This is actually warned for up to ping pong sized over here. Wow, that is I mean it's still impressive sized hail, but definitely not as impressive as what we saw earlier with that baseball sized hail from earlier. I mean baseball sized hail, man, this is insane. So I don't know how many times we've seen tennis ball sized hail yet this year. I know we've seen it at least a couple times at least. There is a cyclone port over here in just southwest of Abilene, but it looks like that one is down. So, do we have I thought there was another cyclone. Oh yeah, over here in Killeen, but we are not going to see anything on that cyclone port. So, actually, hold the phone. I do wonder if we have anything in Abilene. Oh yeah, we do. I mean, I would expect at least the more populated areas to have cameras. But the question of if they're static or moving. There is one camera. Which I can't even actually, hold on. Can I drag this out? No. No? Okay. It's not gonna let me pull up or it's not even gonna let me drag a picture here. Actually, hold on. I actually can just save it as an image here, and then where is it at? Ah, here it is. All right, here we go. Now we have a new severe thunderstorm warning. It's gonna be for that one right there for an hour 5 minutes for core size sail and 60-mile-per-hour winds. Town of Centerville polygons actually happen. What was that that went through my throat? With the town of Centerville polygons actually happened twice. One time it was one of my friends saying hi because I don't know the second time. It was one of the interns I got fired in Elon's mass firings. I say I feel like Alexa kind of botched that a few words there. Ugh. Where's my phone? Oh wait, there's my phone. I'm like, where did I put my phone at? just had to absolutely sprint to the my headset. I accidentally sat on my headset as I was going to sit down. Whoops. But yeah, I am back. I just had for one of my friends is suffering what happened to me a few weeks ago with the lightning strikes happening 5 times per minute across the street. Lives in Texas. Bro, he, as you say, he might want to check after storms pass if there's a penny across the street, because that seemed to be the case last time. Yo, how's it going, the beans? Where is... Oh, this is an empty cup I have on my desk. What is going on here? I can't even, like, reach to put it, like, with a couple of other cups I did not bring up yet, which I probably should. This is definitely a new severe thunderstorm that just got issued here. For $half hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds. Same here. A lot of these... How many of these are going to be going for almost an hour? Hold on, let me check. 3 of these, it looks like. Do we have anything? Just want to check for why not. Hold on. What is going on here? I just, I'm like, what is going on there? But yeah, there's, the environment's just not up, the environment's just not there in that area for, tornadoes. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised, to be honest, sometimes when it comes to just a random tornado popping up absolute nowhere sometimes, where there's areas where there's really not a expectance of tornadoes. I also forgot to mention about the pennies. There's also a lightning rod on the radio tower, because the radio tower got hit lightning nearly 70 years ago. I was gonna say, I guess that does technically make sense, because a lot of tall objects are typically the targets for lightning. So. And looks like this one is mainly a hail threat now for this area here. Still have this area here for this tornado watch, which is still probably one of the smallest tornado watches I've seen in forever. Or ever, in general, to be honest. Where is... Oh, there. Where did I put my YouTube chat at? But it's, like, hiding behind, like, 2 different windows on my PC. Also, like, yesterday, other than what was ongoing in Oklahoma yesterday, here in Northern Illinois, it was quite a day where we had a cap, and also that cloud cover did not help either. Because I was expecting some severe weather throughout the day, or at least throughout the afternoon into the evening, but unfortunately, a cap was in place, or a temperature inversion, so I wasn't able to really see much lightning. Although there was actually one storm that did actually produce some lightning and some rain with it. Although it was like lightning that's like way up in the clouds. Also a new discussion. Is this a new discussion? I don't think it is. But it is a basically what like one of the smallest. Once again, one of the smallest tornado watches I've seen. I don't know what the smallest is. Although I did see on that post that the smallest was like 2 counties large. New series this morning just got issued, and I think that's gonna be all the way up here. Yeah, it's gonna be all the way up here. Probably still for course I sail 60-mile-per-hour winds. So I mean, definitely still gonna be. I mean, we're definitely gonna see a severe threat of some sort up here. Uh, Definitely not to scale though. Still with what we're seeing right down here. I'm still feeling. I'm definitely feeling my throat get a little bit dry here. Bro, my friend just texted me that saying he counted the lightning strikes from a recent minute that is happening across the street. He counted 12. 12. Holy. Let's see here. Bro, please tell me your water bottle is on a second shelf again because my friend just texted me the past 2 minutes. He counted 26 lightning strikes. Unfortunately, I'm not in that I'm not in that particular location for today. I'm actually back at home for today's stream. So unfortunately, I do not have a water bottle on a second shelf. But, however, I do have a Powerade bottle that is just to my left of me. Wow, that is definitely, hold on, there's definitely gonna be an area here that I'd be watching here again. This is basically the same area again where we had that tornado warrant area from actually an hour ago, or hour or two ago. I think it was more like an hour ago. Yeah, it was more like an hour ago. Yeah, definitely an area to watch here for a conversions. And also any couplets potentially for a tornado that could occur in that area. Well, it does seem like a lot of that area of red is outside. Actually, hold on. Let me circle that real quick. Definitely. It's still gonna be. I'm just gonna watch that area just in case. There definitely seems to be a supercell that needs to be watched. So I do wonder if it's trying to kind of split off from this one here. I think your curse has affected me because I just saw water bottles on the second shelf in my kitchen, and when I got it off to drink water, he just texted me 2 lightning strikes per minute. Man, I think a water bottle is gonna be it's gonna be like it's gonna be like Max Velocity's cheese curds. I need a drink here. Ugh. Yeah. Well, let me go through different scans real quick. It definitely seems like it is trying to split off potentially from this one here. You can kind of see this area here, where it seems like it's starting to split off for sure. But what? Not that. I am watching that. I am watching that. We have a severe thunderstorm warning actually over in well, between Texas and Oklahoma, and holy, I just noticed there's a lot of storms that just fired up over here. These started kind of popping up almost around 4 o'clock in western Oklahoma, west central Oklahoma. Wait, what cursed with max velocity? I didn't hear you correctly because you were talking a little bit too fast. Cheese curds. Cheese curds. Yeah, that is a lot of storms that just popped up over the past hour. 2 hours, actually, because now it's 5:59, and these started firing off around 4. Yeah, that is a lot. Actually, let me look at this radar here. I'm kind of curious. Yeah, basically around 4. Would not be surprised if we start seeing some more severe storms up that way. Don't know how much of a tornado threat those are gonna be up that way, but we'll see what happens. This is now warned up for golf ball sized hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds. This used to be warned for lime size. So it looks like this is now a both wind and hail threat again with that cell. Why is a friend trying to call me when my ringtone is very... Tornado siren ringtone. I was gonna say, imagine being in the middle of a store and all of a sudden your phone just goes off with your phone, and people would probably think it was like an actual tornado siren, but it was just your phone. Definitely seeing a little bit more activity on this side here. Let me go back a little bit on scans, because I think it's been trying to do something on this backside here for like forever, but it hasn't done anything. nose, man. I seriously don't know if my allergies or what are kicking in right now. So hopefully, it's probably, I wouldn't say it's probably a cold that I have, but more than likely allergies. I think you just accurately portrayed why I'm banned out of O'Reilly Auto Parts. Oh boy. That is quite the place to get banned from. Hold on, we have a Toyota Pass tag on this one near Jacksboro in Texas. The only nearest radar that we have is this one here, and also the one in Fort Worth, which definitely seems like we have definitely an area that is rotating on this. Although I do wonder how much silo contamination is ongoing in this, because I mean, definitely get some silo contamination, especially with what we're looking at right now. Nothing on the ground seems to be the case on this right now. So that's going to be an area to watch for there. Because, I mean, this is within the 5% tornado risk area, so I would not be surprised. Also, that goes all the way down here, but I would imagine if we do see anything downstream here, it would probably be later in the evening, if anything. Concern for the intern working the tornado siren board for our town is falling asleep a lot because the tornado siren's going off for no reason. I was gonna say, if I remember correctly, there was I don't know, with whatever video it was, I forgot. I know it's here in Texas, but I don't remember where. Where it was like a hacker got into the tornado siren system and just started playing like, I don't know, it was like SpongeBob music or something like that. I don't know. I said I'm still like, I don't know. I'm still like not sure about how true that video is, but I know there was a something. Dallas looking for tornado siren hacker. Yeah, 8 years ago. And we have another special weather statement. There's 40-mile-per-hour winds and half-inch hail. Does this want to load? It does want to load. Definitely a little bit of pocket here that has some strong velocities on it. Where is... Hey, where's my super suit? New severe dorsal warning. Ping pong size hail and 60-mile-per-hour wind, so it hasn't changed a whole lot with this particular area here. Although maybe this actually... I think it was actually technically an upgrade, I think, actually. Because, like, 2 different areas that are warned for that ping pong size hail. Check it back up on this real quick. Still got an area. Hold on, let me Jackson D Texas cameras. Let me see if we got anything. And as soon as I start talking about the Jacksboro, Texas, with cameras here, we do not have a tornado warning now for this area, and that's gonna be going for the Jacksboro Jacksboro, Texas area. And we also got Wizard Wells, Cundiff, Marietta, and I think any towns over here are, anybody at the backside here is pretty much good to go for their shelter. But I still recommend being in shelter anyways, as you're in that tornado warned area. So once again, if you're in Jacksboro, Wizards Wells, Marietta, and Cundiff, go to the left part building your home. No tier part building your home, as you're now underneath a tornado warning. Think about Gatorade bottles getting very concerned I'm not drinking it because my friend just texted me 26 lightning strikes per minute where he is in Texas. I was gonna say if you're talking about that much lightning, I imagine it's somewhere in these areas here with the lightning. Either that's all the way up here. So I know Supercells are gonna have the case where it's gonna be a lot of lightning. Actually, do I even have my? I do have my lightning detection on. So I'm kind of surprised I have not seen a single like plus sign because that's typically where I can kind of see where lightning's at. Let me actually pull up tier 2. I don't know if I have my place files in place on here though. Where's my place files? Place file. Okay, there. I do not have the lightning detection on here. Hold on, let me. There's another on the ground here, by the way, for this tornado warned area. Lake Jackson? No. I need Jackson. Try to see if Jacksonboro has any cameras at all. I know it's definitely gonna be cameras there, but question is if they're live or not. So this is northwest of Fort Worth. There is no cameras there. Just a lot of still image cameras, and they're all pointing towards the road, so not going to see anything on that, unfortunately, with cameras. Ow, my foot. So once again, if you're in any areas, continue to stay in your safe places. If you haven't already, go to the lowest part building your home, lowest tier part building your home. Once again, this will be for the Jacksboro area. I just got a place file on tier 2, which actually, let me go to that real quick, if I can. So that's it's showing the lightning a lot better than what's being shown here on Radar Mega. Unless I could turn on 1 minute lightning detection, which even on here it does not show anything. So, all right, let me just go over to tier 2 and let me show you guys that if I can find it. Where's tier 2? Tier 2. Okay, here we go. So you can see this is the from one of the place files, which is the basically rapid refresh place file I found for lightning. And you can see there's a lot of lightning within this area here. I mean, look at all that. Lightning strike, lightning strike, lightning strike, lightning strike, lightning strike, lightning strike. I don't know how many minutes between these are occurring though. That's the only thing. So I may have to get a different place file just in case. yeah, so they're even on the past 20 minutes, it's still a lot of lightning within this. When it is my last day of school. What? Let me, because I know I've been using my Google Calendar a lot. I think it's like the 7th for me. That's, let me circle that, because I think that's just in clear. Yeah. Definitely seems to be, definitely a hook in there near Jacksboro, though. I feel like I've said, hook a lot. And looks like this Supercell did have a kind of a hook on it earlier. It looks like it's kind of occluded out for the most part on that. Would not be surprised if it tries to do something later down the line still too, but right now just not doing too much in terms of anything tornadic at least. Still producing wind, still producing hail. Well, any severe storm's got to produce wind, severe winds, but actually, let me go to dual view. Dual view. Switch that and switch that. All right. So this is what it kind of looks like on both reflectivity, which is on the left, and then you got your velocity on the right. There's definitely, for sure, some, because that's where the clear air is in there. So actually, let me go back to one frame here. Because that's in a clear air area, so there's definitely some side lobe issues going on within there. So I'm just preparing to hear I bot just going absolutely crazy anytime soon, honestly. Although right now it's not super crazy right now. I know on days that we've had like tornado outbreaks, I just hear IEM bot monitors going ding 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 ding. I'm like, what is going on, man? Because I have all bots talking, so I get from like Weather Prediction Center, I get updates from National Service offices when I update or cancel out a warning or watch. ABR issues fire weather planning forecast. Fire weather forecast for central, northeast, South Dakota. Winds will be out of south to west today, under 15 mile per hour winds will increase overnight through Sunday morning. Max humidity 63 to 68, minimum temperature 30 to 35. So fire weather happening up that way, it looks like. MAF, a strong thunderstorm will impact southeastern Crane and southern Upton counties through 6:45 p.m. Central Daylight Time. And that is and the Midland. That was issued by Midland, Odessa, Texas. So it's gonna be these areas here. Wind gusts up to 50-mile-per-hour winds and penny-sized hail. Actually, hold on, it's this one right here with the special weather statement. Still got this tornado warning going for another 13 minutes. Would not be surprised if that just gets led to expire out or something of the sorts. Because so far we've had at least one. We've had one supercell that's actually produced a tornado today. I am kind of curious. What does the storm report look like right now? Let's see. 2 tornado reports actually. One of them was 20 miles south, 20 south of Sterling City. Large tornado covered by train spotter. 1 north Water Valley. Brief tornado touchdown. So there's actually 2 tornadoes that occurred. And that's in this general area over here that we've been seeing that. Well, we saw those occur in. Hail reports. Train spotter reports quarter to ping pong sized hail 1.5 mile to 3 miles south of McCamey. That was I think it was a long while ago at that point with that one, because that was 2032, which I don't know what time. I need to get, once again, I need to get used to looking at universal time for everything, because that was 2032. What is it now? 23. So that was about 3 hours ago. So like 3:32 maybe, or 3:32 p.m. For West Southwest Robert Lee, Coe County, Texas. Report from Emping. There's another one. Oh wait, not Emping. I'm reading the wrong thing. 2 1/4 inch size hail measured west of Robert Lee. McCamey, Upton, Texas, which is the more recent one. I think it was. Law enforcement reports nickel to core size hail in McCamey. It looks like there was a special weather statement issued all the way, over here for 40-mile-per-hour winds, and basically it's only a wind threat out of that for 40-mile-per-hour winds. So it's gonna be a little bit windy on that. Fort Worth, Dallas issues damage threat considerable winds, 60-mile-per-hour winds, hail 2 inches in size, which is gonna be this one right here that I know it popped up earlier. Which I think is going to be, there's a couple of ongoing storms in this warning polygon here, which I think it was probably warned for that one there near Newcastle for the lime-sized hail. Holy. I just saw a ton of terminal aerodome forecasts get issued all at once, basically, from like several different weather forecasting offices. 3 of those, for some reason, came from K-Lot, which actually one of them served Rockford. That would explain why. Well, one of them served Rockford, and the 2 other ones, I don't know what the specific ones. I think it's for probably O'Hare and Midway. I mean, new severe dust warning just popped up on the north side of this for core size hail and 6-mile-per-hour winds. So you can actually see that hail core right in there, actually. It's a small hail core, but it is there. Hold on. I am noticing an area here. How long has this been trying to do something for? Let me look. It looks like this has been recently trying to wrap up, it looks like. So it looks like it's trying to hook. Definitely going to be an area to watch there. I am interested in seeing how this the storm road's got to evolve, because right now definitely seems to be at least discreet to semi-discreet with some places, or at least mainly discreet with a lot of these storms. I am interested in seeing if this eventually does end up turning into more of a swell line, which right now does not seem to be the case because everything's so like spanned out across an entire area. Still seeing some more storms and showers in Oklahoma. A couple of showers over near the Tulsa area, looks like.